Well, everyone, Netflix is probably one of the biggest streaming platforms out there. And I will tell you, after using Netflix for a few years now, honestly, it's been like since 2017 I've been on Netflix. I think there's been a lot of movement and a lot of changes for the good and for the worse that honestly, I kind of want to vocalize my opinions about. The first thing I want to tell you is I did a video comparing basically, Netflix to Apple Music and Netflix versus I think Amazon Prime Video as well or something along those lines. And essentially what I found for the most part is that Netflix for what you are getting is a pretty decent value. There are lots of things available on Netflix, lots of shows, and even though the whole entire streaming atmosphere is changing a little bit, I think in Netflix, if they play these next couple steps out right, they will probably knock it out of the park. And I think they'll be able to drop a lot better shows at higher quality at a much faster pace than what they are even doing now. Now, first of all, there's a few different plans available for Netflix. So you have the basic plan. This is a new one that just came out. So this is a basic plan with ads. So what this means is basically you are getting the basic advertising. You're getting the basic plan of Netflix. You have basically everything available, which is nice, but you do get ads every once in a while within this platform. So I don't think it's a big, massive deal, but if you're paying for Netflix and you're getting advertisements, that doesn't really seem like the best, kind of way of winning over fans, especially when it used to be no advertisements. So this is why I think Netflix needs to have like some sort of free tier that, if you're paying for Netflix, either you get way less ads or you get no ads at all, very similar to YouTube Premium, which I personally find one of the best, subscription models out there. So Netflix, if they make a free tier, I think it'd be really good, especially if they have, advertisements all over the place. That way more people can watch the shows and more people have access to Netflix, just like YouTube in my opinion. The next step up is that basic plan with no ads. So this one is $10 a month. So you get no advertisements there. There are some other, options available here and there, but that's another thing you have the ability of doing. Then you have the standard plan at $15.50, and then you have the premium plan at $20 a month. So the main differences here is that with the standard and premium plans, you have more screens you can watch at the same time. So if you have if you want to share the same Netflix account with other people, you have to remember that you can't be watching a show at the same time or the same show with other people at the same time. So you kind of have to plan it out with other people. Lots of people share Netflix accounts. And if you're on the same user account, you have to remember that it's going to be a little bit of a different experience if you're watching a show and then you get kicked out. So, you can do 2 on the standard plan. You can do up to 4 on the premium plan, which is actually really cool. Now you have HD available, video available on all those, platforms, which is cool. But Ultra HD is available only for the premium plan. So again, if you're somebody who wants to go ahead and essentially get the maximum amount of quality on your specific shows, well, maybe getting the premium plan or the, even the standard plan might be better, but the premium plan is going to give you the best quality. Now, what about the shows themselves that are on Netflix? So recently I've been going through and watching a ton of different shows on Netflix. The most recent one was BoJack Horseman, and I love that show a lot, which is a Netflix exclusive. And that is one of the best things you have available with Netflix accounts in general, is that you get Netflix exclusive shows, very similar to how, Apple TV has their own exclusive shows. Amazon probably has some too. The HBO has a ton of them. Disney as well. So there's a lot of different, subscription platforms that have their own content within them. That is not, out of the ordinary. But I will say in Netflix, whenever they drop a new show, it takes the world by storm, usually. We'll take a look at Squid Game. We took a look at this new Wednesday show, or whatever it is now. There's so many different shows available out there. And I think this is one of the biggest things going on with Netflix. Their marketing is just so good. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they pay a bunch of, social media platforms to start talking about these shows when they come out. But it seems like every time they drop a show, it is the only thing people talk about. Squid Game that came out last year is a perfect example. That came out, everyone loved it. I think Better Call Saul also came out, and that is also somewhat of a Netflix exclusive as well. And there's lots of shows available on Netflix like Breaking Bad, Grey's Anatomy, Better Call Saul, like I mentioned, BoJack Horseman. I mean, there's so many shows available on Netflix that even though they aren't really Netflix exclusives, they're still available to watch. The Office was one that was on there for years and years and years. Even though that got taken down, that was another one that's also, pretty popular as well. Now, if it's between getting a Netflix account and, possibly going through and, going to the movies every month or renting a movie or buying a movie online, whatever, it might just make a lot more sense to go ahead and just get Netflix on your device rather than having to go through and like kind of not waste your money, but essentially having to spend more money on, not having a Netflix account. So that's kind of another big thing to keep in mind as well. On top of that, I do think because of the amount of content that's currently on Netflix, it's just so hard to kind of, beat it, in my opinion. I mean, there's lots of other options available out there, but I think Netflix does a great job at the amount of shows that they have on there. They kind of have a little bit of everything pretty much for everyone out there. So whether you want to watch cartoons, or whether you want to watch anime, if you're in an area that supports those types of shows, they're going to have it on their platforms, which is so beautiful. And like I mentioned, they have tons of original shows that I think they would have everything kind of for everybody. Now, what are the problems with this? I'll tell you, there's a few things that I can kind of think of. One, I think the advertisements and the way they're kind of going on in the future now is moving away than what they would have kind of been doing if they had I think, better structured company. If they went ahead and kind of focused more on, maybe if they added advertisements on a free tier, I think that would be awesome. You have to remember that, YouTube is a very, very interesting similar company kind of to Netflix. Although there's not like dedicated movies. I mean, there's dedicated movies on YouTube. You can just kind of buy them if you have YouTube Premium, some are free. But the way they get people into YouTube Premium is to get them into the platform in the first place and then get into the subscription model. With Netflix, it's almost the opposite. You kind of have to just hear about a movie or a show, then you sign up for Netflix, get like a 7-day or 14-day free trial. And then after that, then you're kind of like, oh, do I want it or not? And that's kind of it. There's a humongous kind of hurdle to get people to kind of jump into the platform anyway, because you have to make an account and all that. YouTube, you can just watch it without even having an account. And although, like I said, they're not really apples to apples, I feel like Netflix and a lot of these other streaming platforms can learn a lot from it. I think Amazon is probably the closest thing we have to kind of an ideal situation where, you still have to pay to, watch Amazon Prime videos or whatever, but a lot of people already have an Amazon Prime account. So it just kind of bakes in, like you already kind of know, like, oh, well, I can just watch it on Amazon Prime. It's already there available. I think I watched Sopranos on Amazon Prime, and that was an amazing experience because I'm already paying for the platform, so you might as well take advantage of it. I kind of think about the same thing with Netflix. I feel like if they just kind of get over this like kind of little hurdle of getting people in and like dealing with that and now changing their structure with advertisements and stuff, I think they'd probably be better off if they just go ahead and just focus in on creating a really good free tier platform, put as many ads as you want to, and then that'll make people want to go and get the brand new one. But they need people to go and be obsessed with the shows. They need people to like the shows that they're watching. And I think there's been lots of shows that they made that were great. I think there's lots of shows that they made that weren't the best and that kind of went and gone. I think another thing is, and it's very common with other shows, is that, they'll drop a show like Squid Game and then it'll be like a year or two until the next season comes out. And then people are kind of over it by then. So I'd personally love to hear your thoughts about this. I think Netflix is still completely worth buying. I think there's tons of great shows on it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.